So to continue on the story, I finally said, okay, I'm going to take it apart and I'll take it out of the box and I'll put it together, the sinus irrigator thing. So I'm thinking, okay, I'll clean it and all that. So I get to the point where I'm supposed to have this screw, and the screw's missing. And when you lose a small part like that, you're like, well, it must be on the floor. So I'm, looking. I'm like, this is enough of this. Enough of this. They took the screw out. Okay, PSYOP, psychological torture. So I called the company, and they're going to take care of it. I knew not to call Amazon; they weren't going to give any satisfaction. It's a screw that holds on the hose spool. Thanks, Larry. But that's how it could still be in my apartment somewhere, but I doubt it. That's how a PSYOP works. Right. Well, people like that have no good to give, no reason to live. They should be gone, whoever they are. God will take care of it. That can work. Thanks, Larry. I was kind of able I was able to get my back not to cramp up last night, so developing this system before I go to sleep. Right. And it's a good sign because sometimes it just takes time. Right. But I had an ear, nose, and throat appointment at St. Luke's, and they were, the lady was really good about it. Sometimes they give you a little grief, try to reschedule. I said, look, I think I may be wrong, but I think what I did was ask when was the earliest appointment, and then because it was so far off, I didn't want it. But again, I might be wrong. I said, but I don't need. I got an earlier appointment. I got it to somebody else. Got with somebody, and they said, okay. See, I can take care of that for you. Really nice. I gotta get that. See, what you're doing is, this is what happens. I like giving the front office of where I live, like, a pizza, a coupon, a gift card for a pizza or donuts, right? But when people make complaints, I try to steer away from that for a little while because I don't want to make it look like I'm giving them, a gift card for to buy them off or something, right? Thanks, sorry. If they never interfered with my life, I'd still be riding my bike. I'd still be well. And God will send them to hell, man. And again, if God doesn't, I don't have a race in that horse or horse in that race. Right? But based upon everything I know and all the scriptures I read, they're the people that can't be forgiven. Right? They've committed the sin unto death. Well, committing the sin unto death would be equivalent or equal to several people that we read about, one or several groups of people that we read about, in that New Testament, and one would be causing people to fall, and the other one is when the disciples come into your city, or a disciple of Christ comes into your city, starts healing it, tell you the kingdom of God has arrived, and then you treat them poorly. Right. Then you shake your dust off your feet, and it'll be worse for them than Sodom and Gomorrah. Right. So I surmise they're all the same people. Right. They're all. Those are probably three indicators of who they are. My left side is actually a little bit too soft. But that can happen before you stop your whatever it is you're using to soften yourself, and because then the blood flows in, heals it. Then you stop the softening stuff once it firms up lightly instead of. Again, part of what I'm also doing is drinking hydration drinks several times a day instead of just once. And again, that was one of my plans, and they got me off of it. Again, they psyop you and you can't get to it. It's kind of a nasty day. I came out for a walk, but it was like nicer when I was planning the walk. I just wanted to get that stuff out and get that thing back together, or get the thing together. And the screw was missing, so I had to take time to call the company. And it's like people from India. And if you got hearing aids and you talk to people from India on customer service, it's like it's like a screaming in your head for some reason, because they hit that, because what it is you have high end. Most people have high end hearing loss. Right? That's most common. And what happens is, thank you, lady. They have high end voices, and they're loud at the high end, so they like ping you. They get amplified. Like, hey, that. Thanks, Larry. So again, that would be something they would do, because it's like, it's a, where is it? Where is it? Look for it. Look for the screw. They get off on it, man. They're sick, right? No, I felt it. I'm like, At a minimum, it was Satan, right? Thanks, Larry. Nah, I'm not going to stay out walking. It's getting pretty nasty. It's going to rain. I wanted to walk in the sun. That was the goal, because it's good for your muscles and your joints to be in the sun. It's so weird eating pizza. Now, it still has sodium, but not really a whole lot. Eating pizza with zero fat mozzarella. It is so weird. I mean, it tastes good. I mean, maybe if I had fatty mozzarella, I'd like it better. Maybe not. To me, it tastes similar if I use tomato sauce with the crust I'm using to the ones I was buying at Menards. Right, but they're homemade. It's pretty quick to cook. And of course, the fat profile is way better. Right. I mean, this isn't just zero sat fat. This is zero fat. Oh my God. Their attempts at cheddar cheese wasn't working. But their attempt at cheddar cheese would work if they put good fats in there. So they should put polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fat in there, and I think the cheddar cheese would dress up and be well. And then, of course, it's healthy. It would still have additional calories. So. Thanks, Larry. So, I mean, there's a small chance that screw just fell somewhere, but I didn't see it. And again, from what I know what they do, that's what they do. Right? Because they know, like they study. And they send a part. So it's a pretty good company. Because I returned some of them Amazon before because the part kept breaking, and finally I decided I'm gonna call the company and see what I can do. Right. What I Oh, jeez. Hit him in the heart. Oh, she had a psychological issues, I'm sure. Yeah, she's been having trouble recently. Hopefully, she's not somebody that you're deep stating. See, that's the risk there. 100%. He sounds like a good guy, and I feel, just the connection. Thank you. What came up actually was the fire department guy, and we'll heal him just in case, in Kansas City. Remember, there was a woman that kept falling, and I didn't want to get close to her because I didn't want to have that happen or something like that. But she was having difficulty, and I wanted to get her help. She was so it was so strange at that moment that, if I had tried to help her, she might try to hurt me, and then I got to respond. So I said, I got to get somebody 911 here. And they sent the fire people over, and it's like, okay, yeah, we know Miss So and So, thank you. And so they started helping her. So I just didn't know, whether it would develop into something like that or not, because I don't need to, I don't need to be restraining her or fisticuffing or anything like that. So I just kept an eye on her from a distance, a short distance, and she wasn't doing well. So, right. I don't know, if there was narcotics or just a natural organic thing going on. Right. So I had the fire people come and handle it. They knew she was, so that worked well. Thank you, Larry. That was at what was that road? What's the road Lowe's was on? I don't remember anymore. It's the main road heading north, south there. Goes past Target. It was by that gas station on the corner next to Target. Across from was that Walgreens? She was over towards the UPS store. But I don't think it was the UPS store at that point. The UPS stores are on the back. Thank you, Larry. Oh yeah, I forgot I'm on this thing now. I meant to go on Spaces, but ended up on here. So I'm not seeing on Dayton Asia the hidden inferences that they used to put on there. So I don't know if you made them swear off of that or what. I take it back. There was one, but again, one doesn't. You can't really go off of one because Satan's stance can easily do one. Thanks, Larry. Yeah, the way they do this thing, again, that could have been Satan's stance, but they do things just so you'll be paranoid about things. But again, you're not being paranoid because you're reacting to what somebody's doing. That's funny because my therapist said that the other day, right? Something similar. I didn't use the word paranoid, but because your response is normal, but what we have to do is make sure that you don't avoid things. Right. And that you can, because I told her I'm avoiding. That's what I told her. I said I'm avoiding things. I just figured I'd avoid all this stuff because they harassed me. She's real, man. She's probably a tough cookie, right? They're trying to make me paranoid. Oh no, she's not. They probably tell her he's not really a patient. We're just testing you. This really didn't happen. We're just testing you. Thanks, Larry. She don't like the deep state. I can tell. as a real Christian. And to say you don't like the deep state and be a deep state. Oh, this reminds me. I got to say something about Trump. What was it? Okay, so I'm again. I have to put this. I'm not like you didn't like crap on the carpet. I'm not rubbing your nose in the dog shit. I'm not doing that. I'm just trying to wake you up because this is horrendous. What's happening? You can't see it. And if you have operators operating me, get them away from me. That's number one. Number two, if there are operators operating me, get them away from me. Tell Kash Patel, get the hell. Like, there's going to be inflation, and you just won't have as much money. You won't have as much stuff. Tough titty. It's essentially what he said. What do you think people are thinking? He didn't use the word inflation, but that's what he described. So I think what's happening is Rand Paul is trying to save the party. Really, I mean, he's being political about it. I mean, not political. He's trying to be gentle about it because he doesn't want a political infighting. Right. And now China's got their game on. They're saying, "Okay, Boeing, we can be bigger than this tariff thing. Let's talk it out." So he's going, and they're probably not even allowed to do that because that might be a violation of the Logan Act. Right. We've talked about it a million times, but most times it's just somebody in a political realm reaching out to another community. But again, when you're outside the political realm and you have business and you want to negotiate with another nation a policy of your nation, or maybe it isn't defying a policy of the nation. I don't know what their answer is going to be. I guess there's no, again, right. If you, I don't think they could. I don't think they can negotiate with the government. I'm not sure about that one right, at that point because we're in an adversarial position with that government. I think where they could normally, if it was just a general situation, but I think they can negotiate with the entity, like the airlines. Right. So if it's an airlines representative, again, most likely they're affiliated with the government somehow. But again, right. The only way for it to be completely taboo is that you pass a law, like Senate, House, President. Like the Senate and House pass it, and the President signs it. Thank you, Larry. Oh no, it's a crazy morning, and in God's way, He was able to make it right. Thank you, Larry. There's no doubt that 5 years ago I could have completely healed and never had trouble again. Right. And they got in the way of that. Right. I mean, come on. You're there. You're supposed to be doing good things. You're doing evil things. And you're destined for hell. Like, I have no way of knowing, but actually, the woman that I was talking to on Amazon may have actually been in contact with them. Right. And they were trying to head off a return, or a refund. Because that's what happens often sometimes. That's maybe they learned from it. That's what used to happen. They adulterate some order and then end up refunding my money. So again, you need to find out who's doing what there. And don't buy into it being just law enforcement. I say you have to. They're not obligated to give you any information. They'll tell you it's top secret or secret, right? So right now I have to like not run any credit reports for a while, so my credit fixes a little bit. I think I got enough money to like pay off everything because I was keeping a little bit of a balance in my accounts, but I'll be back to living like month to month almost. Right. I had to buy a lot of stuff because of the poor health, and I'm using Walmart delivery. It almost pays off. I I mean, it's easy. The only thing it costs me is the tip, and I tried to shortchange the tip. But if you shortchange the tip, you sit there forever waiting for your packages. I think they do it like Uber, like you get to select what you deliver or what you pick and all that. I think I don't know, right? Unless they just do it as a group, saying if somebody tips us good, then we right, then we help them out, right? The 10%, that's all you want. Give them a 10% tip, and your stuff will zoom to your house. Generally, I mean, there might be some moments when it won't. Give them a 5%, and you sit there forever. Oh, where's my stuff? I mean, just because of the life I'm in, I can't have to do priority shipping. I mean, express shipping. I know it's overcomable, but but it takes a lot more. Right? If my stuff sits there for, if my order sits there for 3 hours, right? Anything could happen, right? But again, I mean, I'm not receiving the greatest prices as I used to from Walmart because I got to pay the extra fees. But I'm still I'm still saving money over the supermarkets, and I'm having it delivered. Right. Hy-Vee might have something. I was looking at Hy-Vee. I was having trouble logging in and stuff. I was trying to evaluate their program. Hy-Vee's program might work pretty good, and they have some okay stuff, especially if they have it on sale. Their sales are pretty good. Right. Well, you see, when you go to the supermarket, you can actually get Walmart prices when they have good sales, the stuff that you buy, because you just buy a certain number of sale items, right? And then the other items, are more expensive, but it works out in the wash. Thank you, Larry. So I got to find out how I sterilize this thing. Right. Thanks, Larry. Because I'm waiting on a part from them for the other one. Satan was like trying to lure me to do something illegal. It was like the store I was at last night. So buy the actual Sinugator and then put your broken one in the box and return it. I'm like, no. And we're going to start the sterilization process. Oh, it looks like a nice device. I actually like it better than the one that costs $100 from the other manufacturer. Oh, you sons of guns! They just cursed me. Dropped the stirring spoon on the ground. Yeah, that should actually. I go on. Oh, it's not plugged in. Durr, durr. I should have I should have had a wife. It's like the woman that I like to get to know here. Again, she looks like she's been gay, but she seems like she's a nice person. She's happy around me. So I'm like, what's this thing doing? Oh, there. All right. That's the alcohol. Starting with the alcohol. Then I'll have to rinse all that out a few times. Yeah. Thanks, Harry. Well, not here at Play Games. Okay, that's the one where I do that. Rinse down the container itself. Now I gotta let it sit a few seconds because alcohol doesn't necessarily kill bacteria on just passing by it. You just let it sit a little bit, and then because the interior is not coated with alcohol. Let that stay. I think it takes like 30 seconds or something, and then we'll do hot water. Do hot water again. Yeah, I'm gonna actually have to do my. I have to get my. What do they call that? My hydration drink here. All right, now I'll do it with alcohol once again, and then I'll do it with bottled water.